Well, for this Ask Paul question, I've got a very interesting one. The viewer tells me that she's away for a month in the winter and she wants to know some tips about how to keep her houseplants alive. They're not succulents, so succulent you could probably leave all winter and it would be fine. But houseplants that need a bit more watering, well, it's a little tricky. If it was summer, I would say put them outside on a shady deck, and you could even get a sprinkler on a timer that you could turn on, by Wi-Fi now, believe it or not, from your phone. Or you could put it in a big tray and let the water sort of fill up on the tray and go through the bottom of the plant pot and water the plants that way. Because it's inside in winter, you really don't want to obviously have too much water getting on your floor or something like that. But one technique is, again, I would tend to put it on a waterproof container. I would get maybe a 5-gallon, those sort of drywall buckets you can buy anywhere for, $5 or so. And what we do is we create wicks like a big shoelace that sucks the water up. Some of them are covered. You'll have to go to a garden supply company. You put the wicks into the 5-gallon container and bring them up over the top and push some of the end of the wick into your houseplant. And the water will be sucked up along the cord and into the plant. As it gets dry and dry at that end where the plant needs it, you'll get more water coming out. There are also those sort of ends of soda bottles you can buy. Plant watering devices, they're like a spike. You get the soda bottle, you undo the usual cap and stick the spike on, fill it with water, and you stick the spike into the plant and it will gradually release the water while you're away. What you want to do though is put it in a place that isn't too sunny, doesn't get too hot. If there's a ceiling fan that's making the air move, cut that down. So if there's no air movement, there isn't too much sun, and you keep the temperature down, those plants won't transpire so much, they won't lose so much water, so the watering need will be much, much less. So experiment, go online, do a bit of research into houseplant watering devices. There's a lot out there, and good luck. Well, this Ask Paul question is an interesting one. It's has somewhat of a risky outcome. It's from Jamie, and she asks that she's got an overgrown weeping cherry tree and she wants it to make it look more like an umbrella. In the email, she tells me that there's some upright branches, and that kind of tells me that it's often a grafted tree. So there's an upright cherry, which is the trunk, and they graft the weeper on top of it. But sometimes from the trunk, you get the upright bits growing. So yes, you do need to cut those off. Just leave a little stubble. Don't get too flush to the trunk. The best time to prune a cherry is after it flowers. Don't do it in the spring too early. Let it flower, and afterwards you can then, before all the leaves come out too much, you can then see inside a little bit and decide what you want. Cherries, though, I have to say, are very vulnerable to disease. They can get all kinds of infections. So use a very clean pair of hand pruners or a very sharp saw. I would actually tempted to have a little bucket of weak Clorox solution, a bleach solution. So after each cut, dip your pruner or your saw into it before you make the next cut. And then stand back. Do a few cuts, stand back and see, is that the shape you want? But I have to tell you, if you're in deer country, the deer will take the lower branches off your cherry and make it look like an umbrella anyway. But I have to say the upright branches, though, you do want to get over because they're often more vigorous, and that tree won't be a weeper anymore. It would be a large upright cherry. So good luck, be sanitary in your pruning technique, and I think with touchwood, you should be okay. Oh, I almost forgot. Lily says hello to Barney, your dog, golden retriever. Apparently Barney loves to watch Lily. Don't we all? Yes. Sometimes not for the right reason. So anyway, Lily says hi, and thanks very much for the Ask Paul question.
We'll see you next time on Home and Backyard.